I spoke to this bloke twice yesterday.
How do you do what you do to me? If I only knew, then perhaps you'd fall for me like I fell for you when I do it to you.
Gerry and the Pacemakers, how do you do it? Gerry Marsden up front there, who is pretty close to a living legend. Well, he's got an MBE. He's also been awarded Freedom of the City of Liverpool and Freedom of the Ferries. I had the chance to talk to him yesterday. They're back on the road, Gerry and the Pacemakers, with a brand new tour. He told me where it all started.
It started with my father playing the ukulele. Coming back from the pub of a Friday night and his mates sit in our house, sing along. My mum would sing and he'd sing. Me and my brother Fred had watched them all, and I thought, that's what I want to do. I want to entertain people. I want to play something. A couple of years later, I said to my dad, hey, Dad, let's play the uke. He said, all right, son. So he showed me how to do it. And I loved it. And I actually sang on the RH shelter in Menzies Street when I was 5, Ragtime Cowboy Joe. Anyway, when I was 11, my dad bought me a guitar, and we were fans of Lonnie Donegan. So my friend Jimmy Tobin, Tommy Ryan, Dixie Dean, my brother Fred formed the skiffle group. We played, and it was great, all around the youth clubs and everywhere. And then we heard Elvis Presley, and we thought, wow, we need a piano. So we got a pianist called Arthur McMahon in the band, played rock and roll, and we thought we better change our name from skiffle now. So we said, I know, Gerry Marsden and the Mars Bars.
Because before that you were the Gerry Marsden skiffle band.
Yeah. So my dad said, I don't think you can do that, we better check it. So he wrote to Mars Bar. So can we use my son has a little band, can you use your name? They wrote back and said, no, it's a trade name, no way. I said, okay. So I was watching a race on television, and the guy said, the pacemaker in this race. And I thought, ooh, what a name for the band, the Pacemakers. Told the boys, and they said, okay, we'll call it Gerry and the Pacemakers because you sing, which we did. And when we got our first number 1, how'd you do it? My father wrote to the Mars Bar people and said, remember that band who wants to call themselves Gerry Marsden and the Mars Bars? They're actually Gerry and the Pacemakers with the number 1 in the charts. And they wrote back to my dad and said, he could use the name, he could have it, that's all right. My dad wrote a very short letter back. Something to do with sex and travel. But we never used the name.
And you had a hit with How Do You Do It before the Beatles had a number 1.
Yes, we did. It was offered to the Beatles. They didn't like it. John Lennon, who was my best pal, rung Brian Epstein, who was both our managers by that time. I said, Brian, we don't like that song, it's rubbish. Give it to Gerry, he'll do it. So I did it. And when I got to number 1, I rung John up. I said, hey, John, do you remember that song you didn't like? How'd you do it? He said, yeah. I said, it's going to be number 1 this weekend. He said, with strange things that I couldn't say down the microphone on Radio Merseyside. I'm sorry, Graham, but he wasn't too pleased. But I thank him every day for the record. Thanks, John.
So you're in a beat group, you're playing the Cavern, you've been to Hamburg a couple of times.
Yeah.
Why did a beat group go and record a Rodgers and Hammerstein song from a musical? I'm talking about You'll Never Walk Alone and the 50th anniversary not far away.
Well, the reason being, I'm a great fan of Laurel and Hardy. And we're doing the show in the Cavern. We used to do afternoon and evening shows. And we're doing the show, and it was pouring down with rain when we finished. So I said to my brother Fred, I'm going to pictures, I'm not going to bother going home. I'll see you here tonight. So I went to the Odeon, and on was Laurel and Hardy, and I thought, wonderful. Sat there, and the next film was Carousel. And I thought, what's this all about? Oh, well, I'll see that one and I'll watch Laurel and Hardy again. So I was watching Carousel, and this song, Walk Alone, came on. And I thought, that is fabulous. Lovely lyrics, great build-up, great chords. Right, so that night I said to the band, I've got a ballad we can do, You'll Never Walk Alone. Nah, get out for it, rubbish. I said, come on, we'll do it, which we did. And when we did that, the dancers, all the kids stopped dancing, listened, and clapped. And we thought, wow. So when we're making our first LP, which is today's music long play, George Martin said, okay, we'll use that, we'll put on the LP. Then we had our first 2 records. How'd you do it? I Like It went to number 1. And George and Brian said, if you get a third number one, nobody's ever done that.
This is George Martin from Parlophone and Brian Epstein.
Yeah, that's correct. So I said, well, why don't we put Walk Alone out? He said, no, it's too slow. Brian Epstein, no, you couldn't. No. I said, put it out. That will be a hit. He said, oh, okay then. So they put it out. A month later, number one. So I rang them up and I went, hello, George. Hello, Brian. Nah.
Did you have any idea at the time what an anthem it would become for Liverpool Football Club?
Not at all, no. I mean, I used to go to matches as a kid. And what they used to play the top 10 of the records of the charts down from 10 to 1. So when Walk Alone was 1, that was what they played just before the kickoff. And I was there one day and it came on and I thought, oh, there's my song. And the cop started singing it. I thought, gosh, listen to them singing a song. Oh, that's fantastic. And so from then on, they sung it. And when I went out of the top 10, they didn't play it. And the cop went, where's our song? So they had to play it and that became the anthem. And it's been great to me. And I've sung it many times at Anfield. Sung it up at Celtic when we played Celtic in the European Cup. 90,000 people singing it. Wonderful. I was in the middle of the pitch singing and I thought, God, if I've got to die, do it now while I'm happy. But it's been great for me, the song.
You got anything planned for the 50th anniversary of the song?
Not really, not of the song, because the same time as that came to number one, John F. Kennedy was shot, killed. So we're doing this tour, the 50th anniversary tour, and we'll publicise when it was there and so on. But it's just a massive song for me, nearly as big as Ferry Across the Mersey, which was another big song. Whenever we tour all over the world, which we do, they always say, like in China, Singapore, Hong Kong. I say, okay, that it's great fun. So I'm very, very lucky with the songs.
And ballads as well.
Yeah, luckily. I write ballads better than I write rock and roll. So I was pleased when Walk Alone got into the charts. I could maybe try a few ballads.
Do you think the John F. Kennedy thing was significant in that America was in mourning and it was ready for a British invasion, which turned out to really be a Liverpool invasion?
Yeah, I think so. I think the whole music scene was ready for a change. And the Beatles, with the instigators, they got in, changed everything, opened the door for us. We got in the door and thought, we're staying here. So America was ready for it. England was ready for it. The world was ready for it. Thank you, the Beatles. We love you. Every band of today loves you.
So what are you up to these days, Gerry?
Touring. Just come back this year from Australia, New Zealand, States and Canada. Toured here. And now we're starting our next tour here in about a fortnight's time. And next year, in February, we do the 50th year anniversary. And on the show is PJ Proby, The Searchers, The Fortunes, Chip Hawkes from the Tremolos, Brian Poole from the Tremolos, and it's going to be a great show.
Gerry Marsden.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on